How do we start this?
I don't know.
I just already know I'm gonna cry. It's a happy thing.
Yeah.
It's a happy thing. Hi everybody, a little different, having someone a little special here today.
A little special.
All the special.
I'm just a little special.
You're not a little special. You're all the
I'm
special.
about as special as that pimple that took up real estate on your forehead.
Thank you. Yeah. Name it.
George.
George the pimple.
St. George.
Saint George.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
It's a state. It's a whole state.
It's a country.
Or province if you're in
Thank
Canada.
you. Thank you. I'm very self-conscious now.
Okay.
You guys have seen Adam in my content for the past 4 years now, which
I've been around.
Which is crazy. But I think the truth is that this is the first time you guys are ever actually really meeting you.
Yeah, I guess in depth.
Well,
maybe the podcast people, but
yeah. Well, who you were before isn't who I knew. They knew a version of you that was very sick.
Yeah.
And as they know, there's a YouTube video we put out a couple years ago explaining Adam's injury that happened in, was it 2017 or 2018? I think it was 2017.
18 or 19?
No, it definitely wasn't 19.
18 then. Yeah.
Adam, he had an injury, and we ended up, it changed our whole lives. And we spent a lot of half a decade not great.
5 years.
Yeah, so we put out a YouTube video. I explained everything that happened, and we never knew if we would come full circle, and so many amazing things came from that YouTube video that changed our lives. And I think it's time for you to meet Adam.
What's up? Hey everybody.
Tell him what you did yourself.
I'm back. Kind of.
He's back. Pretty much.
I'm not 100% yet, but I'm
If you
close.
were to put yourself though, from 0% to 100%, where would you say you're at?
It's hard because it's been 5 years, and after 5 years, 100% changes for you. You get to this place where you feel like you're close to 100%, but you'll never.
Well, you probably don't know what 100% even is.
No, that's
anymore.
it, right? I don't know exactly what 100% would be, what I felt like before this. I know I'll probably never be 100% because things can always happen. I can still hit my head and
there's the fear, right?
Feel like shit for a few days and stuff. But
I know who you were before that, and for me, you're so much who you were, because there was a huge period of time where I didn't really know if Adam was gonna be the man that I met in the beginning and who I married in the beginning, and I think that was
I
really
wasn't
scary
for
part.
sure for a couple of years. Definitely.
Give him a refresher on what happened.
Well, I took a hit to the head with a piece of wood and...
In the garden.
Yeah.
This dude still loves gardening.
Yeah, well, you can't take it out of me. And then I kept working. That's the issue. If you ever get a hit to the head, take a rest. Go lay down.
Even if you think you're fine.
Stop doing what you're doing and chill, because I didn't. I worked all weekend in the heat, and that compounded issues for me. Mm-hmm. And I may have not been that bad for that long. If I would have just laid down, I might have been fine in a week.
Honestly. When you hit, did you think it was was it a really hard hit? Did you think,
I was whoa, that was pretty hard. I think I'll be fine. I didn't see stars. I didn't see a white anything.
I just remember you going. So he worked. It was a day it was in June, but it was hot. It was so hot.
It was the end of May. It was May 28th or something.
Yeah, and then he came home from work that Monday. He left work because he didn't feel well, and he was white, and he had these huge bluey bags under his eyes. I love sharing my hair care secrets with you guys, and honestly, it's not a secret. This Way hair oil has changed the literal game for me. I love sharing this with you because my hair means so much to me, and I feel like it does to a lot of people. It gives me a lot of confidence, but I want to tell you about this hair oil. It's multitasking, it smooths frizz, and seals split ends for a high gloss, super smooth finish that keeps color from fading. It can be applied to wet or dry hair and protects your hair from heat damage. No matter what kind of hair you have, Way's hair oil will rejuvenate your hair so it's healthier, more vibrant, and guys, it smells so good. It's nutrient-packed, it absorbs quickly, it revives damaged hair, and guys, it smells like you're walking through a hidden garden in the romantic streets of Paris. It has notes of violet, gardenia, and ylang-ylang, and white musk. It doesn't matter if you have fine hair, medium or thick, or hair concerns, you're gonna find what you need at Way. I want you guys to head to theway.com/spookyboo for 15% off your purchase. THEOUAI.com/spookyboo. You're going to get 15% off any purchase. Thank you for sponsoring the show. And I think that was the first time we went to the hospital, and
Yeah, Monday night we did.
and that started the...
But yeah, you don't notice until like 2 days after.
Well,
Things start getting weird.
so you really have to like rest when it happens. But I just remember him coming home that Monday, and that was just the start of... Like luckily I can say now that wasn't the start of the end. I know that like when I posted that YouTube video going like it was almost 2 years ago now.
Yeah, 2 or 3. 2 probably.
2 years ago. It felt like the end. And that was like a desperate cry to the world for some kind of help, because we had been to so many doctors. And that's the thing when it comes to brain injuries, like no one really knows. The brain is like a mysterious thing.
They're starting to learn a lot, but to elaborate on no one knows is everybody's different too. And when this happens, it can be a different part of everybody's brain. So everybody's treatment, as much as it's sort of similar, is also going to be different. You have to target different places in the brain and reactivate different places, different exercises for different people. Some people get dizzy, some people can't see light, some people can't do sound, some people can't think, can't cognitively, they get tired, they're always sleeping. And it's all a mix of that for everybody, depending. And the way you treat it is very similar, but also different for everybody.
I remember that first year after Adam had his injury, I call it the year of silence. And I've said it as like we were ghosts.
Yeah.
He couldn't really do much of it.
Your book, Clandestine.
That's what I wrote, Clandestine. But Adam stayed in a chair. He stayed in a chair for a year. We didn't have any TV on.
Just walks, and I couldn't even walk that far.
No, he could walk like maybe to the mailbox.
And back, yeah.
He couldn't look at his phone. He couldn't read a book. He couldn't listen to stuff.
Read a paragraph in a book, and it would like just make your brain go on fire. Your whole mind would be numb.
His face would be bright red. His eyes would like drift off to different locations. It was crazy because it got to this point where it was like a year. We had surpassed about a year at this point where you just literally, guys, like he couldn't pluck an eyebrow hair. He couldn't walk very farther more than down the road. He couldn't look at his phone.
Eyebrows?
No, but remember, I was like, you couldn't pluck. It was too much. It was too stimulating. Yeah, you were asleep, and I'm like, bro, you're getting too hairy.
Yeah. And it's weird though, too, because I got better in between the 2.5 years.
And then he'd fall back out of like nowhere.
I like messed it up again by lifting something above my head too hard that was heavy.
And you wouldn't even think that would do that.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
I kind of knew, but like hoped and thought I was far enough along that it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too with trying to get better when you have this kind of situation, is it's not like there's a cast on your leg when you break your leg, there's a cast on your leg.
You follow a protocol.
You take the cast off, you're good to go.
Yeah.
With brain injury, it's like you want to go out and do something. You have this perfectly able body, but your brain's stopping you.
And I think that was the hardest part to see, was like before Adam's injury, he golfed and he fished and he went on camping trips and he was a mountain biker and he did all this stuff, and he went from going 100 kilometers an hour to literally negative an hour. Like and I watched him, like, it's really sad, but like I watched you disappear for a really long time.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
And it was hard because you get everybody in the situation gets really lost in themselves, because you have to figure out what life is, because there's no, what am I trying to say here? There's no quality of life.
Oh yeah, there's no quality of life.
Because your body was fine, but you couldn't.
You're like the universe just viewing itself, because you can't fucking do anything. But
and parts
you
of
can
me,
see everything happening around you.
And I get so embarrassed when I think back to it, because like there were moments where like I got really frustrated and I was like, no, like you can open the water bottle, like just do it. And I feel so bad for that now.
Yeah, but you don't understand, right? Well, you kind of understood because you've had it before, but you didn't.
But not
have
like that,
the severity of me.
And I think once we hit like that, like 3 year
that's
part.
Everybody. That's not just you. Don't feel bad for that. People that haven't had a brain injury don't understand the severity of it, and they're like, well, you just have to try, you just have to do it. Well, there's this period in brain injuries where that's not the thing to do, is try. There is a period where you have to rest and just push yourself very slowly to this point of, oh, I'm feeling symptoms, I must pull back, or else it's going to go bad. And then eventually, once you keep doing that properly, you do get to the point where, okay, I need to push myself now. I'm ready to be pushed. I can be pushed.
But it's like that delicate line of pushing too far, because then it'll set him back, like, violently.
Yeah.
But
it still can a little bit now, but I'm like so much better and stronger than like I can lift stuff now and do heavy lifting. And
like that, I couldn't in the past. Like I literally couldn't put my head on his shoulder to like pull his shoulder down. Like it was
not too hard. You got
like
to be
I couldn't
super
hug you.
careful with it.
I couldn't hug you tight. It was
it was weird.
It was crazy, but and it's crazy to look back and know that this was This was half a decade of our lives that we lived like that.
Yeah.
And
off and on.
It got crazy too. Like, this is in the middle of it is when we discovered TikTok and stuff like that. And I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah, that was when I was okay, like for a little bit.
Oh, you had a hot minute.
Before I had the re-injury, I went back to work, doing all right, and then TikTok started, but then we started doing all that again, and then we started the makeup company, BXB, the cosmetics, and lifting those heavy boxes when they come in from shipping kind of set me back again a little bit.
And then the batteries.
And then lifting the batteries, like car batteries, above my head too high to lift them over top of something.
It just nailed him.
That just like made me go backwards.
And you wouldn't have thought that would create that.
Yeah. And then feeling better made me not take those situations seriously. So I kept falling backwards. I'm like, no, I can't be here again. I'm fine. And then you keep pushing forward. Then finally you come to terms with yourself and realize, all right, I got to start from square one again and slow things down.
And in turn with that, like, another part where it's the hard stuff to talk about, but I like to be honest with you guys, is I would get so mad at him if I saw him doing stuff. He's like, well, I feel good enough to try. I'm like, if you feel good, this is when you don't do anything. Yeah. But it's like, you still have to push yourself. So like, there were so many arguments, and it never came to a point where like you
just find out what works for yourself, and you have a hard time listening to anybody else.
No, absolutely. But it was scary. And I remember there was a point where Adam, like, it got really dark again when we were talking about like quality of life, and I don't think Adam's been like a suicidal person at all.
No, never.
But the way that he would look at me, and he had said like if this is like if this is going to be my life, like I can't, like I don't know if I can do this.
It's weird too. Like in those moments, that's not going to be your life, but you're so sick and your mind's so like caught up in it that it does feel like it for a minute. Yeah. And you still know to tell yourself, oh, that's not actually what the situation will be. But at the same time, it feels like it and comes out that way.
The truth is, like, there was some, like, really dark moments.
Oh, absolutely.
And
what you're saying is 100%.
There were times where, like, I would leave the house. Like, say I had to go to the grocery store. And I would be so scared to leave the house because, like, I didn't know what I was going to come back to. Because it's not that you were unpredictable. Like, you never, like, you weren't a violent person. You weren't any of this. But, like I could see that happening. Like, I could see because you weren't you. You weren't you.
I couldn't see it happening, but from your side, 100% that I can see how that was portrayed, and you kind of absorbed that situation.
That was the scariest time of my life, for sure. Because it was like, we hadn't been married that long. Like, we'd been married a few years, and like long enough, but we had been together for a long time at this point, and it was just like, I couldn't imagine the rest of our life being like that and not doing anything or going anywhere or anything. And no, we didn't know.
And even if we did know or had, like, maybe we did know that it was going to get better someday, you're still living in that moment and get stuck in that moment, and it's scary for sure.
No, absolutely.
But we're here now,
and it's crazy where we are, because we think back to like where we were, and a lot of this, when this happened, we were going through a lot. We had been through a lot in the few years before that. He wasn't working because he was sick. I wasn't working. I had sold off my business because before he got sick, I was sick. I got Meniere's disease. Yep. So we went from, I was finally better.
Mentally, because you lost a couple children. And
yeah, it was just hard. So we were at this point where he wasn't working. I wasn't working. We were never at like the point where we were going to like lose everything. We were super in debt. And then we found TikTok, and we were able to use that avenue to connect with the world. And it's really changed our lives. But the one thing that it brought to us was cognitive FX.
Yeah. That is the YouTube video, actually. Yeah. That you made.
Yeah, we posted this YouTube video, and this...
I'd heard of it before from somebody else, but I didn't take it seriously at the time.
Because there's a million places, right?
Yeah, there's a million places, and also I had done something similar to it before, but like they're just next level with it, so it was...
Yeah, so it's actually Amazing Doctor and Tom Brady. Was it Tom Brady?
She he helped kind of pull it together, funded a little bit. They worked together on Concussion because... with Dr. Fong, but yeah.
But yeah, he went to it once.
It's mainly Dr. Fong, and there's a couple other doctors there too who are just as amazing and work with her. More than a couple. There's 3 or 4 others, and they're all really awesome.
The second time that Adam went was the year after the first time, and when I tell you that it was a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, like, I don't want to cry. I've been teary-eyed this whole thing. But it's crazy because we bought this place and we knew we were biting off like a lot because we're out in the country. There's a lot that has to be done, and everybody brought together to kind of make this happen. But we wanted to move here because like we came here and we were like for a visit, and I was like, this is the most beautiful place. You're gonna heal here.
Yeah, for sure.
This place is gonna heal you. The energy of this place is gonna heal you. And I remember buying this place, and slowly over the past year, we're just past a year of living here, I've seen you do things.
Yeah.
So I see him, it started with him just being able to take the garbage out, starting to drive again, because Adam didn't drive for a few years.
Not a lot, no.
Couldn't even
use
use
the
steering wheel.
absolutely had to.
But you'd be sick after.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel well after.
To the fact that he could mow the lawn, he could take stuff, and now he's...
No, you mow the lawn. That's...
Yeah, but like you push mowed in the beginning before we had the
No,
ride
I know.
out.
I'm just saying you love mowing the lawn.
I love mowing the lawn.
Mowing from you.
But now I'm like, I looked outside like a week ago, and he had Queen blasting, and he was cleaning the garage and moving boxes. And now I have like all these clips in my phone of him just doing... It
definitely wasn't Queen.
It was Queen, wasn't it?
It was Led Zeppelin.
Oh, it was Led Zeppelin. I'm sorry.
Well, that's all right.
But he was doing...
Queen's good. Don't get me wrong, but it was Led Zeppelin.
But like he's doing things that everybody takes for granted.
Yeah.
And he was happy, and he was singing along to the music.
It's crazy how simple things will make you happy after trauma like that.
We see life differently.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's a gift. It's not a gift. But it's also like, it takes tragedies to happen sometimes to appreciate what you have in life.
I don't think I'd go through after it happening and just kind of gaining what I've gained from it. I don't think I'd want to go through life without some sort of tragedy. I mean, that sounds so stupid and so terrible. But like, and obviously there's certain tragedies I wouldn't want to go through life and have. Like, it's just awful. But after having that type of tragedy, you grow, and kind of spiritually you have this new respect for littler things, for life itself. And not everybody needs that kind of tragedy to grow. I'm sure a lot of people kind of are already feeling that, already have that. But in my case, as bad as it was, I appreciate what I did learn from it and kind of my outlook on life now because of it.
You've definitely like spiritually changed the way that you see things. He's read a lot of books about things, and it's not that you're a softer person, but I feel like you are a bit softer in the way that you see the world and how you treat people around you and how you allow yourself to be treated. And
yeah,
stuff.
I don't know if softness is the word. That works. No, I don't mean it like that.
I know what you mean.
It's not a bad quality.
You mean.
But I mean, it's more like respecting certain things, differently.
You see, like, because I think when you're cut off from doing anything, when you finally, it's like when you're sick and you can't breathe out of your nose and you're like, oh my God, I took breathing for granted.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh my God, I can go for a walk.
Yep.
I can drive a car. Like, this is crazy. And it makes,
sometimes I'll
you know
forget.
what it does? It makes you not want those big crazy things everybody wants. Like, I don't want to move to LA and live in the hills. I just want to be quiet with you in the hillside with our dogs and just live a simple, beautiful life.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that or the other one, but it definitely changes your perspective big time. It's
nice just hearing him talk, because like before, like thinking and stuff, like you get really like red in the face and you get super flustered.
Like talking and carrying on a conversation is cognitive work, right? Like it would make your brain work. And
like Adam's always been wicked smart. Like he's wicked smart, and he's really
not wicked smart.
Yes, he is. He's wicked smart, and he's like one of the most articulate people I know. So it's really hard when he couldn't be that, and seeing him finding words even being frustrating, and like. Yeah. And I knew it would get bad because one of his eyes would like drift off because his brain was swollen. And
my left eyes were, because I got hit on the left front here. My left eye was a little weird.
I always say it, like, if you would have told me when we got married we would have ended up there, I wouldn't have believed you. Yeah. And if you would have told me when we were there that we'd be here right now, I wouldn't have believed you. But I'm so thankful for where we are here.
You wouldn't have believed me, but you always believe in yourself. You've always been motivated, and you've always said that you're going to do what you're going to do. And that's part of the reason you're here.
I just feel like I'm thankful. And I feel like the universe gives and takes. And it's this balance of good and evil. And I feel like if we didn't have the platform that we do, we never would have gotten the help.
Maybe not.
And I remember just when he first got sick, and it was before TikTok or anything, just being like, there's someone somewhere, there's something somewhere. And a lot of these treatments are expensive, and we couldn't have afforded it if it wasn't for this. We would have fallen down that hole and never gotten out of it. So I just want to say an enormous thank you to you guys.
Huge thank you.
You've been on the journey. And
absolutely.
And I made a lot of funny videos, and a lot of my funny came from a very sad place. But some of you knew that, and some of you guys just laughing with me along at the things I did, that saved us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Reading your comments through all these years has been...
Just getting you out of a factory alone, or like into a line of work that you love.
I get to be me.
And cherish and get to be you. Yeah. Like even before all this happened, like just when you worked in a factory, I saw it sucking the life energy out of you.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with factory, but some people ain't built for it. I'm not built.
Just that you specifically weren't built for it.
No.
Absolutely.
No, and the thing is, and what I'm excited to say is, Adam's going to start doing a lot more content with me, and we have a little bit of a YouTube idea coming up soon that I think is going to be really cool to shoot, and I'm excited for you guys to fall in love with Adam the way that I did, are still.
Did. Who are you seeing?
I'm not seeing anybody. But the thing is he's really fun, and he's great, and I can't stop. He's wonderful. And
oh my God, stop, please.
Mush.
Give it up.
But I know you're gonna love his energy, and I can't wait to for him to share himself with the world.
We'll see.
Hey,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm here.
Do you have any closing words for everybody?
Just thanks so much. It's fun to be back, be myself, and I gotta remember.
He sees the comments.
Not to take it for granted.
He sees the comments, and it's like people are like, Adam looks so animated. Like, it's so nice to see Adam, and I watch you compared to old content. It's so different.
It's way different. Yeah. That pimple on your forehead.
Stop. Okay, will you help me pop it?
No, don't pop it.
Let's go to the bathroom.
No, it's fine. I'm not popping it.
Suck it out.
Ew.
Just do it.
Guys, come on. Help me. Help.
Okay, until next time, guys. This is Adam. He's great.
I'm out.
I love him. Okay, bye, guys.